Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, did you ever matter to the narcissist? Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So this is one of the questions I get frequently during one-on-one sessions. Did I ever matter to the narcissist? I will give you the answer to that, and I'll actually give it to you right now. Yes, you did matter to the narcissist. You mattered an awful lot to the narcissist in the beginning of that relationship and throughout the length of the relationship. The thing is, the way you thought you mattered to them was not the way it was. You see, you and the narcissist are completely different people. Yes, you're both human beings, but your train of thought is night and day. It's oil and water, if you will. You most likely are a kind, loving, empathetic individual. Maybe you were a people pleaser, a yes person. Maybe you didn't have boundaries, or you couldn't say the strongest word in the English language, which is no. And remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. The narcissist is the opposite. What they are is they are a taker, and they want to take. And when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. And this is exactly what they did with you. They looked at you as an opportunity. They looked at you as a fuel source, an energy source, as somebody who they could glom onto for a period of time, and they could elevate their lifestyle, and then they could crumble you up like a sheet of paper and throw you away on the freeway if you were discarded, if you understand that message. And then they would go on to a new unsuspecting source of supply, another person that is either A, recycled because they haven't broken the trauma bond, and they're pining for the narcissist, or most likely an unsuspecting person, someone who doesn't have the wisdom or doesn't have the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle. That is something that you are acquiring. You're getting the wisdom. You're becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered. But did you matter to the narcissist? Of course you did in the beginning and throughout the whole relationship. And I'll explain to you how. In the beginning, when you were in that euphoric / love bomb stage, that's when you thought everything was puppies and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies. And that's when you believed that you met your soulmate, or the yin to your yang, or the person that completes you. And you thought that this person would be with you, growing old with you, creating a future and a family with you perhaps, and that they had your best interest at heart. The truth of the matter is, none of those things came to fruition. The narcissist, once they had their dirty fangs sunken into you, in other words, once you professed to them that you loved them, or you wanted to relocate with them, or start a business, or have family, or do something with them, that a big goal, or any of all of those things, that's when they knew they had you. And once they had you, it was too late for you, because number one, you did not know narcissism existed. You weren't taught this in school. But number two, you were completely vulnerable. You were extremely vulnerable, and you opened up your heart and you told the narcissist what you were thinking. This is what the narcissist banks on. They bank on people oversharing, on people being empathetic, on people being kind, on people not knowing their value or their worth, on people believing in the mask that the narcissist wears. The narcissist is a master manipulator, and what they want to do is they want to shapeshift and go from relationship to relationship, business to business, person to person, blowing up each and every relationship that they encounter. And that's what they do throughout the whole body of their existence, because they can't help themselves and because they get bored and jaded with people so frequently. That's why they're always looking for a new shiny object, a new relationship, a new clothing line, a new car, a new hairstyle. Nothing can stay constant with the narcissist other than themselves, meaning the narcissistic abusive cycle, it goes around and around and around. And at one point, you were in the middle of that cycle. You were being peppered with abuse, with gaslighting, with stonewalling and silent treatment. You were experiencing rage fits, verbal abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, every abuse under the sun. But you didn't know what you were up against, and you kept on working for the narcissist and working for the relationship because you were trying to get back to that euphoric / love bomb stage. We now know you could never get back there because that was a mirage. It was a fraud. It was quicksand. It was a house built on cards. It was the narcissist mirroring back to you what you wanted to see. And the narcissist did this. So in the beginning of the relationship, did you matter to the narcissist? Of course you did, because you were making them feel all beautiful and feeling that they were validated and important, and they were planning your future together. They were doing so many things with you, but they were excited. They were like a kid with a new shiny toy. And you were the toy. But then again, as I mentioned, when a pivotal thing happened, when either something changed in your life, maybe a death in the family, maybe you got married, maybe you had kids, or relocated, or got a new job, or lost your job, or your health took a turn, any or all of these things happened, that's when the narcissist looked at you and they said, wait a minute, this isn't working out. What I need to do is I need to lay on the abuse here and see how much longer this person will stay in the relationship with me. And sometimes this takes months, sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes decades, sometimes it takes a lifetime. Example, if your mom or dad are the narcissist or your sibling, you know what I'm talking about, and drop comments below. But you did matter to the narcissist during the love bomb / euphoric stage. That's how they tried to get you hooked, and most likely it happened if you made it this far in the video. Now, the devaluation stage, did you matter to the narcissist? Absolutely. This is when your resources were becoming depleted and diminished. This is when you were putting the narcissist high on a pedestal and you were doing everything for them. You were doing what they wanted you to do, with whom, when, how, where, what, all these things, because you were given the endless to-do list. Perhaps it was to raise the kids. Perhaps it was to clean the house. Perhaps it was to have 3 jobs. Perhaps it was to be the sounding board for the narcissist, or to provide a lifestyle for them, or give them money, or pay the rent or the phone bills, or buy them a car, or vacation trips around the world, whatever it was. But you did matter to them. Now, keep in mind, when you were in the devaluation stage, what you thought was going on was you were in a stable or healthy relationship, and you just thought that this person probably was having a couple bad days out of the year, maybe like 364 days out of 365 days they were bad or challenging days. And you thought, oh, it's no big thing, that's just them, they'll be fine. But it gets worse and worse over time. The longer you're in these relationships and the more toxicity you experience, the less chance you have of actually understanding what's going on. It's not until you Google something, or you type something in the search engine, or you're on YouTube and you type in something like spouse won't talk to me, and you get your first light bulb moment, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a name for this, and there's a community. Yes, and you're in it, and you're on it right now. But when you were in the devaluation stage, what you thought was going on was you were experiencing poor behavior, but you couldn't wrap your head around it, and you were making excuses for the narcissist, and you were tolerating it. And every once in a while, you probably would stand up for yourself. You would probably try and put a boundary up, but that would be squashed eventually, and you would experience the silent treatment or more rage fits. And this cycle would just keep going on and on and on. And then, if you got discarded, think about this. Did you matter to the narcissist then? I'll be honest with you. At that point, no, you didn't. You did not matter to them one bit, because that's why they discarded you if you were discarded. They did exactly what they did, and they seized the opportunity. Most likely it was around a holiday, one of your favorite holidays, or a birthday, or a special event, maybe when you were having the birth of a child, or the death in the family, or when you became sick or ill. This is when the narcissist many times will discard you. The narcissist knows what they're doing. They know when to discard you, and they know when your resources are becoming depleted. And they also know when to queue up the new supply. So let's focus on that for a minute. When the new supply is in place, most times it is throughout the relationship. You may not think that, but even on your wedding day, I can assure you the narcissist had supply. Maybe it wasn't romantic, but there was supply left, right, and center all around them, because the narcissist cannot be satiated with one source of supply. They need it from their smartphone. They need it from dating apps. They need it from social media accounts. They need it from dogs, pets, people, acquaintances, tangible assets, money. This is supply to the narcissist. Anything is supply to the narcissist. So why I'm sharing that is when you were discarded, and again, if you were, my heart goes out to you, you didn't matter to them, because what they were trying to do, and they succeeded, and I'll shift this energy for you in a minute, is they threw you away. Now, I'm not trying to trigger you or upset you. I went through this myself. Not a fun experience at all. But this is when you have to heal. You have to learn. You have to grow. You have to become awakened and aware. And you have to understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. But to do all these things that I mentioned post-discard, you're going to first of all have to find the needle in the haystack, which is the term narcissism, and check all the boxes that perhaps your spouse and or whoever you're thinking about, your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, romantic interest, friend, that they're checking the boxes. And when they do, first of all, that's a good thing, because you're now identifying who they are. Second of all, you need to become educated and understand the definitions, the glossary, the terms on the narcissistic abusive cycle, and you're doing that. And then third of all, you need to do this. This is the most important thing I can share with you. When you have the ability to do it, you need to go no contact, block the narcissist, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you've identified that there's a toxic individual in your life, you need to understand they are only going to continue to haunt you. They're only going to continue to pepper you and to stay in your mind and live in your mind rent-free. That's not good. That's why you need to break the trauma bond. That's why you need to exit the narcissistic fog, and that's why you need to heal. But all these things will take time. I will say another thing for you, side note, pro tip. Does the narcissist know what they're doing? 100% they know what they're doing. That's why when they discarded you, they already had the next person in place that they were going to go to. This is how the cycle goes around and around and around. So For those of us who have healed and are at the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when the discard happened, that almost took us down for the count, but it didn't. We are here. We are paying it forward. We are educating people and awakening people to what narcissism is. That's a good thing. This is something the narcissist never thought that you would do. They did not think that you would make it. They did not think that you would heal. They did not think that you would put yourself back together, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and dust yourself off. They did not think you would rise through the ashes like a phoenix and enter the third version of you, the most galvanized, strongest version of you known to humankind. But all of these things I'm sharing with you, you did matter to the narcissist in the beginning of the relationship. You did matter to them throughout the devaluation stage because of what you provided. And if they discarded you, you didn't matter to them at all because they had a new shiny object, a new shiny toy to play with. And by now, the narcissist probably has multiple sources of supply, not just the one, because these relationships, each and every one of them, have an expiration date. We know that by now. Now I want to flip this for you, flip the energy. Please play this part of the video and play it again. If you've healed or you are healing, you understand exactly what I just shared with you in the video. And again, drop comments below. But right now, post-narcissistic relationship, if you've healed, I can assure you one thing. The narcissist doesn't matter at all to you because you have healed. You've processed childhood wounds. You have journaled. You've had sleepless nights. You've seen a therapist if possible. You have meditated. You have practiced radical acceptance, and you understand that everything you went through, there was no other way. You had to go through it, whether you wanted to go through that relationship or not. And nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to go through a toxic narcissistic relationship. But now that you've healed, you understand that the past is just that, the past. You need to take the lifelong learning lessons from the past. You need to not predict the future, and you need to live in the present moment where the abundance happens, where doors open up for you, where you fall in love again, where you build new friendships, where you relocate, where you put yourself back together, where you understand that that relationship almost took you down for the count, but it didn't. Just like everything the narcissist does, when they discarded you, they did not think you would ever survive or make it, but you did, and here you are. And now you are a superhuman being galvanized with a superpower. Yes, I do mean that, because not everybody goes through the toxic narcissistic relationship. Not everybody breaks the trauma bond. Not everybody heals, and not everybody is in the third version of themselves, but that's you, or you're getting close to it. So now the narcissist shouldn't matter one bit to you at all. You shouldn't care about them, where they are, what they're doing, who they're with, what their hair color is, how many times they've been married, or anything about those people in that former lifetime. That was then. This is now. You need to seek the abundance. You need to grasp the beautiful, bright, shining light within you and hold it high and understand that you are an amazing human being. You've done something that most people on the planet, A, never even heard about, B, haven't experienced, C, weren't prepared to defeat, and D, didn't know what they were up against at all because you weren't taught it in school, but you conquered the narcissistic abusive cycle, or you are doing it right now. This is why now you have to have boundaries. You can't be a people pleaser. You must be a strong version of yourself and let people jump through hoops to get into your life. I'm not saying that you're better than anybody else, because I certainly am not. I will say this, though. I save and conserve my energy for those loved and trusted ones around me. I do not just give it away for free any longer. That's one of the lessons from the narcissistic abusive relationship. Not everyone thinks like you. Not everyone acts like you. Not everybody has your best interest at heart. And quite the opposite. Many people want to be you. Many people are jealous of you. Many people are envious of you. Many people see who you are and the abilities that you have, and they want to take them from you. In other words, let's say that you go into an office. You're an office 9-to-5 employee, and you're in a good mood 5 days a week, 365 days a year. You're just built that way. Well, you find yourself as being a target in the office many times. Why? Because those other people are miserable, and they want to take you down in the quagmire with them. That's what they want to do. Not saying they're narcissists, but they're not enjoying your happiness and your beautiful energy. They're trying to take you down many times, not always. So guys, get the message. Understand what I'm sharing with you. Did you matter to the narcissist in the beginning? Yes, you did, because you were the new shiny object. In the devaluation stage, yes, you did, for what you provided. When you got discarded, no, they literally threw you away. They threw me away. But now that you've healed, do you matter to the narcissist? It doesn't matter. First of all, we don't care about that. But the real question is, does the narcissist matter to you? And that answer is a rock solid no. Absolutely not, because we are now learning, growing, teaching, becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that you are not alone. God bless you all. I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys.